Danganronpa.
Damn right! Huh? Like... Hey! Like... I get it. Damn it.
I've listened to the whole story. Well? See? Yep.
too must be the will of causality.
Well?
Fine.
Damn right. Like... well...
See? Yep. Now. Actually... Huh? Why? Hey! Yo!
Hey.
What?
Thanks.
Now then. That's weird. Yo!
Perhaps... but... isn't that right? Hey. Well... See?
Huh?
Hey!
Well...
I see.
So you have a... I can see it! Go, my four dark... How pitiful. Fine. That was close.
Hey, hey. See? Yep. But still. So...
Hey. Man. Hajime. Right? How mean. Damn it. Hey.
Good instincts.
Do you have a minute?
This, too, must be the will of...
Yep.
Fine. Face your powerlessness!
So... Oh my!
Good instincts.
Well? You are right.
Hello there. I see. Hey!
Did you call me? What? What are you gonna do?
Huh?
Listen up!
That's...
Here! Look forward to it, okay?
Hey.
No, no, no! Are you sure? What's this? Too bad! You're so stupid! Shocking! Hey, well now then. I can't wait! Melvin!
Monokuma was born in a remote village full of old people because the death rates outpaced the birth rates. One day, Monokuma was swept up by a tornado created by a helicopter gunship during a routine military exercise, and was whisked away to Monami's country. Monokuma wanted to return to his homeland so he could go back to pestering the old people for change. So he began his journey to see the wizard Monami, who was rumored to grant any wish one desires. Along the way, he met a very loyal group of friends. Monokuma met a Monami scarecrow who was missing a brain. When he recommended that she commit suicide, the Monami scarecrow hanged herself and died. He also met a Monami lion who was missing her courage, so he pumped her full of arrows. He also met a Monami tin man who was missing a heart, so Monokuma sliced her into lumps of iron. After a lot of other stuff happened, Monokuma finally reached the wizard Monami, the great and powerful. Eventually, one thing led to another, and he started beating the crap out of Monami. And in the end, he somehow usurped the kingdom from her. With this, Monokuma enslaved the old people, took their pensions, and lived the rest of his days in luxury. And he lived happily ever after. The end.
Phew! So, bye-bye!
Listen well.
Damn right. I get it. I see. Hey! see. Like... Well, yeah. Well. Huh? Jeez.
Oh my! However... Perhaps... You are right. Perhaps... Hyoko, by chance...
Stupid! What are you saying? Because Mahiru taught...
if that is the case, how about you do it some... Do you remember the full-length mirror in the storage room at the music venue? If you do it while standing in front of a large mirror... Also, shutting yourself in your room like this may be bad for your health. It cannot be! Well?
Hey, hey! Right! Man. Hey!
Well?
Hey! You...
Now then.
All right!
Hey, hey! Yo! Like... Hey. 'Cause... Hey. Aww. Hey, hey. Well? See? See? Nope.
Hello! How's the class trials go? So... Welcome! Wait! Monomi's such a dumb child. Hey! Hey, hey! Let's...
I won't let you.
Hey, hey! Huh?
Damn it!
Well... How about it?
What do...
See? I'm gonna do it!
Hey, hey!
No, that's... Well now.
Yoo-hoo!
Now then, let's begin with during the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh well, who cares about this boring explanation? Let's get on with it already!
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a because I was asleep the whole time.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of...
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Empty head? What's wrong with that?
Listen up! The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside.
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the argument. Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the secret?
Then,
Let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story!
I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue, and unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with...
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital. And then, I noticed Ibuki was gone. So, I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko. So I fled with...
Various ways?
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
After I heard from those 2 that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the 4 of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hyoko's. And not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
And so, we decided to lower the hanged...
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just... Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard... Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, then you could be lying as much as you want right now.
Lie? Why would I lie?
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenience.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to... Come on, try to prove it to me. Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault. Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also...
I don't think I can deny... After all, Hajime...
Why would Hajime...
Well, obviously because...
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie... No, that's wrong!
I'm not the killer! I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that. Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistake.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit, or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec! You're the one who brought this up!
Nagito, what do you do?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should also provide a good warm-up.
What warm-up? This isn't a...
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this...
What a waste of time.
Well, now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is...
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed...
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it! Ibuki...
If Ibuki committed suicide...
Murder coincidentally...
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the...
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue. If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door...
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who... And that's you two!
Me too?
What the hell?
The others all have alibi. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before... And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves...
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know.
Me too!
Hey! Why are you talking? You're kidding, right?
Please stop making...
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't...
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall! Is this his professionals?
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they look like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
The killer was still inside the music venue by locking the door from the inside.
No, that's wrong!
Hold on a sec. There's also a possibility...
From the outside.
There's a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door.
Semi-transparent glob.
I see! That semi-transparent glob.
Blue?
Yeah, I think so too. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness, and I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth. Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
I didn't know glue was edible.
I believe it is not something one typically eats.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly. But if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily. That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer? Then I...
Apologize to Miss Sonia! And me! However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time!
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko.
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Aww, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
But when Hajime got to the venue...
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, but it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the...
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
Part of the wallpaper in the storage room? In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper.
You're right. You overlaid the scrap that was caught on the light. See? It fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hiyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure...
all coming together! Got it! Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create the... So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar, so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper, and because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold.
The crime itself would be much easier to pull off, since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room.
And when was Hyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Hey! Don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission!
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them. I knew it! There are so many similarities, it must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
The reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then, Hyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems that would mean Hyoko was...
How right. Your opponent.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like...
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic...
You're one to talk!
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence!
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
I agree with that. Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint bloodstains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood!
Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck, and she died almost instantly.
If Ibuki stepped on her blood...
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye!
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? It's a good line. But, are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, you're so frightened you can't even... However, the time for conviction... You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there. See a nice nightmare? You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Allow me to cut through those words! That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away after...
Don't say such foolish things!
Yes, You look closely. There's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time. Ibuki must have already stepped in it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the... Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating, so I don't think they had to go that far.
Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe a heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? When it's decided, Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then, but regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again?
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
What? Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim—
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
That's totally impossible! Then she never would have killed her to begin with!
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders. After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body, the killer had to be alive at—
Then she was alive! When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead. If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime.
She hanged herself! Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that!
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. There's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
What the heck?
There's still one more issue. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw? According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder. Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps.
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So, and then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function.
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of...
Then, the video
What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then, we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi.
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy...
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel...
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the if nobody has an alibi, then...
No, that's wrong! Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikan and I both—
You two—
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together.
We even woke up together that morning.
Hey, what?
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hachi. Too much info.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together.
I get it. You guys have—
If that's the case, the killer...
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during...
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us in...
But committing an imitation murder, is that really... Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much. I think the killer had a completely different reason for...
Hiya!
Stop it!
Disappointment.
I'm Monami. Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn... We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip. No! This definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this. Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to save frequently.
Huh. Did I confuse you? If so...
Man, this again.
If that's the case, it would've... If that happened, the imitation would've been perfect. So why didn't they do that?
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3...
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of that.
Seriously, just shut up already!
But I'm thinking about it again, and he's totally right.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's a...
It's not just that. Come on. About the lion that got killed.
That's the one Hyoko's body was imitating.
Even though we're calling it an imitation, the lion was actually pinned by... But Hyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape.
Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult.
Well, that's probably it, but... That attitude is what makes this feeling. If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning, they should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, their entire plan would have...
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
I'm saying, Hyoko's murder wasn't.
What?
I understand that imitation wasn't enough, but aren't you making a bunch of us?
It's not just the poor imitation. There are also other
Strange detail.
like, for example, why did Hyoko...
So, you're saying the truth behind Hyoko's murder is hidden?
I have no freaking clue what you're trying...
However, this is getting quite interesting.
Why did Hyoko go to the music venue? There's no way you'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe... She went of her own free will.
I agree with that!
Sonia said. She went to the...
So, exactly as...
If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Yoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the despair disease, you know? I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because someone called for them.
There's no way she got abducted?
Hiyoko left the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way she would have had time to lock it.
The killer could have locked her door, right? Just to hide the fact Hiyoko got abducted.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right?
I won't lose! Are you saying my gut is my first and last No! Shut up! Enough with your fancy talk! Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room and forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking, and that's why the killer targeted her! Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room and forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking, and that's why the killer targeted her!
I can't back down!
Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room and forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking, and that's why the killer targeted her!
But Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door! So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later!
I can't back down!
Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room and forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking, and that's why the killer targeted her!
But Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door! So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later!
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body! Her kimono was all messed up! There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer!
Allow me to cut through those words!
The reason Hiyoko's kimono was messed up was because she wasn't able to properly wear it.
Wear her kimono?
Yeah, it's also the reason why she decided to go out on her own.
Hiyoko seemed to be really struggling with... I believe that was one of the reasons she... That is why I informed her. I told her that there was a full-length mirror at the music venue.
Then, the reason her kimono was messed up, what?
Yeah, she went to the venue on her own just to fix her...
I get it. I lost. Boil me, burn me, take off my clothes.
Hajime, now's your chance. Make her admit defeat. Or better yet, make her do a little...
Then, the killer probably couldn't have assumed that Hiyoko would go to...
Though that may not apply to Sonia, since she provided Hiyoko...
Though I knew she would go there, there is no way I could have predicted when she...
Don't go doubting Miss Sonia, you cretin! I'll put you and your hamsters.
Kazuichi, do you want me to incinerate your clothes? Perhaps I could do that while—
Gundam, please stop! For his sake!
Huh? What do you mean?
Of course! I've already overlooked no less than 10 opportunities to kill you.
Even if the killer couldn't predict it, why did Hiyoko get killed in the music?
The only thing I can think of is, it was an unfortunate coincidence.
Coincidence?
When she went to the venue by herself, she was probably just unlucky and walked in on the crime scene.
She was killed so there wouldn't be any loose end?
It probably happened when the killer was preparing to kill Ibuki. The killer most likely had already placed the hemp bag over her head, and without hesitation,
killed Hiyoko.
Because the killer used that coincidence for their crime, it made this case even trickier.
That's the reason they imitated the movie to falsify the murder sequence.
Which means that low-down scoundrel didn't plan on committing imitation murders at first.
Then what was the killer actually planning? They've been cunning this far. There's no way. Do you have any?
Damn, you don't know the most important part.
Hey Nagito, any ideas?
Hey, how long are you gonna stay?
Oh, am I allowed to I'm so happy I'm getting goosebumps.
So what do you think?
I was thinking about it while I had my mouth shut. But now I'm Ibuki definitely didn't commit suicide. I thought there might be a possibility that she faked her death and tampered. But now I remember. There was blood on Ibuki. So if she faked her death and walked around the music venue tampering with the crimes, there'd be bloody footprints left in various places. So that's why I think there's no way she faked her death.
You know, we already finished talking.
That's annoying. I guess I should just awkwardly laugh.
Are you freaking kidding?
That's strange. It's very
This is strange.
prove it with this! If Ibuki used the stepladder to hang herself...
Huh?
Yeah, that stepladder was completely clean. No footprints...
Did you notice such a small detail? How amazing! This is true.
But didn't you say you saw that video of Ibuki? Then I think there's no doubt that she really did. Unless there was something funny about that.
I see. So there was some...
But that's something only Hajime would know, since he's the only one who saw that.
Hajime, I leave it in you. As long as I leave this to you, I won't tell you to do your best, but...
Yeah, I'll definitely...
Damn it!
Here! That's right, I remember now. There was definitely something strange about that video.
Can you explain it to us?
What's strange is that stepladder I mentioned earlier. It's true that the steps of that stepladder weren't dirty, but on one side, there was a bloodstain, right on the left side of the However, that contradicts... There weren't any bloodstains on the stepladder in the video.
That is truly... If the video showed the moment of Ibuki's death, then Hiyoko should have already been dead by then.
Even so, the fact is the stepladder had blood on it at the actual crime scene. But the stepladder in the video was completely bloodless.
There's no way the video was recorded in advance. If that's the case...
It's possible those two stepladders were completely...
Wait, are you saying there were two
But where would you find another stepladder?
Then one of the stepladders was somewhere other... What do you mean?
You're suggesting that the stepladder... That's amazing, Chiaki! All that gaming has given you incredible deduction skill!
Besides the stepladder, the filming location must have been different too.
What do you mean?
The hospital monitor is supposed to display footage captured by the music venue camera.
It's all coming together! That's it. The killer just brought the camera from the music venue. With it, they made me think it was a live feed from the venue, when it was actually from somewhere else.
Then, only the monitor was left in the...
Yes, at least when I first discovered. But when Hyoko's body appeared, the killer probably put the camera back too.
That means you should have realized that from the start, and made...
He did discover the body. I doubt his attention was...
That's true. In order to hide that the camera was missing, the killer did one more thing to the ring. I see! The killer smashed the monitor to pieces, destroying it. As long as it was in pieces, he wouldn't be able to tell if the camera was actually there or not. My attention was so focused on the body that even I couldn't have noticed it.
And the moment Hajime left the music venue, the killer put back the camera they took.
And they destroyed it and left that in pieces as well.
It's easy to say it was filmed somewhere else, but the surveillance camera's connection wasn't that strong.
Despite Kazuichi's desperate repair efforts, it seems it could not transmit from the hospital to the motel.
The fact that it was able to connect between the hospital and the music venue is amazing enough.
got it!
Possible that it was filmed at the hospital.
Huh?
But the hospital and the music venue look...
That's exactly why the killer did something to make those two...
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue?
Damn it! There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue?
Damn it!
We will never give up!
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled it? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
That must be it!
What the killer did was make the music venue, the crime scene, look like the conference room. They did that by using the black curtain.
From what I remember, there used to be a really flashy curtain. But after the incident, it somehow became a plain black curtain that didn't seem to be the right size.
That's right! It's so half-assed, just like Monami.
Oh yeah? Well, your face looks stupid!
That curtain was hung so the music venue would look like a conference room?
In actuality, even though it is a black light blocking curtain that's long enough to...
I see. The conference... The same color as the music venue stage. So the killer chose the conference room because they realized the floor...
Matching floors, matching curtains. I guess it makes sense.
But that's not all. There should be something else the killer...
I can prove it with this! You're referring to the candle in the video I saw, a candle was used for lighting. If you think about it, the music venue has good lighting, so there's no reason to even...
But wouldn't they have done it?
That might have been another reason, but... The lighting in the conference room and the music venue... That's why the killer used a candle as film lighting instead.
Which means... Are you saying the candle...
That candle was likely placed there just to make me think it was a sick...
With candlelight, you can't see things in that much detail. Maybe they were going for that effect. With that cheap-ass camera, it won't capture much in a dark area.
As long as this all matches up, it should be no problem to say this is decided. The video I saw wasn't filmed at the music venue. It was actually...
If I'd found proof that evidence in the conference room was altered, we would have reached an answer sooner. But it appears the killer already covered that up. So I didn't...
But there's no mistake. That's the only place within the connection range of the surveillance camera.
The motel would have been too far.
But this must be a surprising... You never suspected that the video you saw in the hospital...
The incident isn't happening at the scene of a crime.
If Ibuki's hanging video was filmed at the hospital's conference room, then was Ibuki killed at the—
No, that's not possible. Right after Hajime saw that video, he discovered Ibuki's body at the music.
I see! The person wearing the hint bag in that video wasn't Ibuki. It was the killer pretending to be. The killer put on a hospital gown, wore a hint bag on their head.
By that time, the real Ibuki must have already...
The actual time of death must have been earlier.
If they took Ibuki from the music venue to the hospital to kill her, there's no way it happened during the...
But why did the killer go to the trouble of making a fake video just so—
The reason the killer made a fake video, there's only one possibility I can think of. Then naturally, the killer's identity will reveal itself.
Huh?
You fiend! Are you saying you...
You're the only one! You're the killer, aren't you? Like I said, aren't you the killer who murdered
Killer? I'm the killer?
Hey, don't you— A chick like her as the killer? She couldn't even kill a fly. In fact, the fly would probably kill—
She's right! A clumsy slowpoke like me killing someone? That's...
But we're the only ones. Thanks to that video, we're the only ones who have the advantage of an alibi.
An alibi? Was that the killer's goal?
Now that you mention it, you guys brought that up earlier.
It's just a coincidence!
But you're the only one who could have filmed that video in the hospital conference. Is that also a coincidence? At that time, you said you were going to be on call, but you actually went... That's when you put on a hospital gown that you prepared in advance. By doing that, you made up a video that showed Ibuki. And showed that to me. Furthermore, I saw that video at the hospital. If someone wants to go to the conference room from outside, they have to pass through the lobby.
So it's impossible that someone who wasn't already in the hospital went to...
Not only that, the others in the hospital, Kane and I...
So that must mean...
Please, wait! What are you saying? That's impossible!
It's not literally impossible. Can't you give a better defense than that?
Just shows she can't even do that.
Hey, you sure this chick is really the killer?
Wrong! It's totally...
Just like Akane said, it is really hard to tie it all together.
I agree. It is truly difficult to believe someone could be killed by such a slow-witted...
That slow-witted remark is...
It's fine. In a tournament for social punching bags, I'd easily win first place with my soft reputation. Even how many times do I have to tell you?
What do you say?
Do you still believe?
Hey, Hajime!
Can you hold on? Well, I know I'm being intrusive and all, and I mean, I missed all of the critical parts, and I doubt I have anything worth saying.
What do you say?
But still, there's definitely no way I can overlook the kill this time. I thought it was suspicious all along. Investigating with the suspect in mind creates a different...
Hey, what are you...
Well, thanks to that, I've been so focused on everybody else this trial. But I guess
You better not have kept quiet on...
Actually, this—
Please don't say such Wow. What?
Well, it's nothing big, really. Only a...
Decisive.
Let's take a look. Regarding the rope Ibuki was dangling from, this rope was supplied by the supermarket, right? There weren't any ropes inside.
Again with the supermarket?
If they got it at the supermarket, that means it was brand new.
What's wrong with that?
I want you to take a close look at this rope. And keep near the middle of the rope. It's frayed, as if it was rubbed strongly. But why is it like this? The loopy Buki used to hang herself is on one end, and the part of the rope that hung from the baton lighting is on the other end.
Hey, you're taking too long.
It means, well, from what I can infer, I think the rope was used like this. The killer wrapped the rope around Ibuki's neck, pulled both ends at full strength, and strangled her. The center of the rope is frayed because that's the part they used to strangle Ibuki.
Darn. I've been listening to you for a while, and it sounds like you knew about this rope. What exactly did you say to me during the event?
Not everyone cooperates at a class trial. Those who lie and conceal the... Just like this case's killer. I was just copying...
More importantly, what was all that about the rope? The killer strangled Ibuki.
And then... I finished speaking.
How is that a
Huh? You didn't notice it? I thought I made the decisive clue. Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
That must be it! So that's what happened. We've been falling for the killer's lie this whole time. You said Ibuki hanged herself, but that was a complete lie, wasn't it, Nico?
That is...
You told us the wrong cause of death. You lied, didn't you?
You should have been able to tell the difference between hanging and strangling. You, Nikon.
First of all, I'm not a coroner, so I don't have the medical knowledge. That's why...
You were right. And you have been...
But even a drunk medical student can notice the difference between...
I'm not taking her side or anything, but being clumsy and unskilled in this area could...
He's totally right!
Nikon nursed me till I got better. There's no way I'm gonna doubt her.
Don't you think her devotion to nursing is what helped her draw Ibuki to her death?
Huh?
And if not, her symptoms were still very serious and caused her to believe what anybody told her. It wouldn't surprise me if she willingly followed Nikon because she was nursing her.
So Nikon volunteered to nurse us? Because she was planning to do this all...
That's a little... Aren't you like the thief who suspects everyone else?
I'm not a criminal. Nikon is.
You got it all wrong!
I'm sorry, but there's no way I can forgive you. I just can't forgive this crime at all.
Forgiveness or not.
I see. Well, if that's the choice everyone makes... But is that really okay? Is that everyone's hope?
You're friggin' annoying! If you keep...
There's no...
Is that really true?
Stop it already!
I can't stop! I don't want to do this either! Of course I don't want to do this! But I need to do this!
You doubt your...
That's not it! I suspect them because I want to believe them!
What the hell does that...
I don't think believe...
Huh?
I do doubt her. But I still want to believe her. Belief lies at the heart of that conflict. 'Cause if there's no room for doubt, then there's no...
Don't say deep stuff.
If you want to believe in someone, you need to believe without doubt.
Fine. Do whatever you...
Huh? Is that... So in the end, you're all just justifying your actions with fancy words. Making everyone always... I'm done with that! It's not fair. It's not fair. Why won't you forgive me? If you did something wrong, you'd forgive yourself! What did I do?
Is acting like this your strategy now? Well, plus, to be honest, I've run out of ideas. How can we get you to admit it?
If we don't have any clues, what? I'm the same as Hajime. But still, the truth is one of us murdered. That's why we gotta stick with this until the very end. Hey, Mikan, can I... If you're not the killer, then who fabricated that video? Like I said... Can we prove it? Wait! Do you have any proof that I'm... Because you're just assuming the bitch, treating me like a killer based on an... That's totally crazy! Why does everybody always hate me?
Is this broad really okay?
I'm not the killer! It seems she... But the only one who can find the hole in her argument. So, I'm going to leave this to you once again. Why do you get to decide I'm the killer? Please!
We can't think of anybody else who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body type.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital just from that video, just from that camera angle, just from that dim candlelight. There's no way you'd be able to... So please, Hajime, hey Cloak, you're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake. I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Deep is the handbag up, is the hospital gown, or could it be the hospital?
Ibuki and Mikan.
Is that really? You could tell her body just from that camera, just from that dim candlelight. There's no way you'd be able to. So please forgive me, or Hajime, hey Cloak, you're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that video.
Is the handbag on her head is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital slippers she...
Ibuki and Mikan...
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type and just from that camera angle?
I'll shoot through that contradiction. Mikan, you've committed a major mistake.
Mistake?
As I said before many times, I'm the only one who saw that video.
What's wrong with that?
But I never said anything about the camera angle. So how can you say anything about the camera?
The only reason Mikan knew the camera angle Hajime had seen is because you're the person who actually filmed that video. Is that right?
This is your just reward. The more desperately you argue, the deeper you dig yourself into a hole. You lied, didn't you?
You serious? Is it true, Mikan? Did you kill Hiyoko and Ibuki?
Forgive me! I was wrong. No, that's not it at all.
That's not it?
I mean, it's... You know that hemp bag Ibuki was wearing when she died? Try remembering the tote bag. Ding!
What the heck's wrong with her? She's getting...
That tote bag. Isn't it the same one that girl was wearing in the video?
How do you know so much about that?
More importantly, did you know that bag is a Hajime saw it too, didn't you? You remembered... Whoopsie! Don't worry about it. Ta-da! There's no mistake. So don't you think it's... Using one tote bag in both the conference room and the music? It's blatantly obvious that that's impossible. Don't... That's why that video isn't fabricated. And I'm not the... So you'll forgive me!
Taking your stubbornness this far.
Then you're gonna forgive me? I won't stop in... explaining it until you forgive me! That bag is a limited item! That's why that is...
Check!
Will you forgive me? You'll forgive me? You still haven't forgiven me? I'll do anything you want. Please, draw on me! Do you understand? Why only me? Please, draw on me! Can you forgive me already? Forgive me! Forgive me! Please, draw on me! Do you understand? Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. You're done for! Forgive me! Forgive me! Why only me? You still haven't forgiven me? I'll do anything you want. Please, draw on me! Do you understand? Why only me? Please, draw on me! Can you forgive me already? There's only one bag. It's impossible to use it in two places at the same time.
This is the end! Monokuma mentioned this. Whoever bought that bag should have received another one as a bonus prize. Which means it's not it, so please, just stop making desperate...
What?
It seems you're desperate.
Why does everybody always hate...
Nikon, after I go over your crime from the beginning and show that you have no art, please just admit it already. In the end, at least let me believe in you. everything that happened in this case. The key to this incident is the surveillance. That's why I'm going to start with that. When I went to the hospital with Mikan this morning, the incoming signal light on the surveillance monitor... When I switched on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a person wearing a hospital gown and a bag on their head. That surveillance camera unit was designed for two-way communication. That's why I thought the signal originated from the music venue. So But that was the killer's trap. In truth, that video was recorded in a... The killer brought the music venue camera the night before and made their preparations in advance. And then, they filmed that video in the... By doing so, they tried to make me think the incident was happening when in fact, the crime had already been committed. The person in the footage wearing the bag was actually the killer acting as a fake. I didn't know that, so I went to the music venue. Seeing the body before me, I panicked and rushed out, but that was also after cleaning the conference room. The killer was likely watching the music venue from outside, and as if they were switching places with me, they went in and began working on their lap. First, the killer peeled off the wallpaper covering one of the stage pillars, revealing Hyoko's body. When I first arrived and saw the hanged body, I didn't notice anything strange about that. I didn't expect it to be slightly larger from the wallpaper. Next, the killer destroyed the surveillance camera that was used. After destroying it, they mixed it with what was left of the surveillance monitor found at the... The surveillance camera the killer used was originally brought from the music video. When they brought it, they made sure to destroy its They wanted to hide the fact that the camera wasn't at the crime scene. In the end, the killer transformed the crime scene into a closed room. They broke one of the drumsticks from the storage room. However, they did this to mislead us into believing that the music venue was locked. In actuality, the reason the music venue became a closed room was because of the glue. The killer sealed the door with glue and intentionally created a closed room. With that, the killer finished tampering with the crime scene and met up with Fuyuhi. They helped us force open the music venue door. And they made us discover not just Ibuki's body. At the time, they pretended inside, they were probably relieved that their plan worked out. Isn't that right, Mikan?
Whoa!
It's been this feeling. I know it well. This feeling of
Mikan!
Whoa there! Before that, It seems your arguments have reached a conclusion. So, now then, please pull the who will be chosen as the Black Lads. Go! Well now, correct!
Damn it. I won't forgive you.
Hey! What's going on? Hey!
Oh, that's obvious. Hey.
What?
What?
cannot be.
Perhaps... See? Jeez. Isn't that right? Possible.
Oh?
Huh?
What I did was for the sake of my...
Huh? Huh?
My beloved was the only never hated. They forgave me, they gave me, I loved them with all my... This is my reciprocation. It's love.
Hey.
Well... how amazing! Could it be?
This is... But... such despair. Don't fuck with me! You serious? This is bad.
I am Monokuma!
Hey.
Oh?
Of course not.
Oh?
That is...
Oh? Well... Do you understand?
Hey. Hey! Damn it!
Oh?
Yes, indeed. Now then, I've prepared a very
So it's real. Now I can go to my beloved, who I can finally. Please forgive me, the one who's going to die with the hope of
Let's give it every...
Let me ask.
Damn it! But... isn't that right?
Please wait!
Damn it!
Wrong! Come on!
You fiend.
Phew! Huh? Hey!
So just as I thought. However...
Fine.
Right?
All right!
Uh-oh. Unbelievable.
Hey!
No way! What's this?
Yo! Hey! Well, perhaps you don't remember my face, since that's pretty sad, you know? Huh? If you're messing with me...
Haven't you...
What do you mean? Oh, you mean... The name's Nekomaru Nidai! I've been reborn in the rivers of hell!